Hi everyone, time for the update I promised you. Okay, so last week I had 2 appointments, and one were via the phone, the telephone appointments, and I had one with the dietitian, the renal dietitian, to give me some nutritional information, and one with the transplant nurse who will be looking to look after me during the whole journey, and to discuss my options, which were the booklet. So I'll hold them up in a bit shortly. So firstly, the dietitian has said a few things that really shocked me. I am normally a healthy eater, but I do have a really sweet tooth. For those of you that know me, you know that I love chocolate, and unfortunately I have to change my diet and accommodate a low salt diet, low salt options in my food. And I probably think I'm pretty much a healthy eater, but I know that I have a terrible sweet tooth. So I also have to at some point give up chocolate. So I never ever realised that was on the table. So I'm pretty shocked. I'm still recovering. To think that every girl loves chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? And I've got to give up chocolate. I've had to give up a lot of things along the way, and now I've got to give up my favourite ultimate thing, which is chocolate. So I'm still processing that one, because that one's going to be tough. So chocolate and sugary things, the levels of potassium, sodium in my blood, all of that is monitored. And at the moment, yes, I am kind of okay, but there will come a time where these things are going to be detrimental to my health. So I'm going to try and get my head around it, and try and just start adjusting my food, everything that I eat, and the consistencies and drink. I don't drink alcohol, so that was given a long time. That was I gave that up a long time ago, so that is not a problem now. So that's what I got from the dietitian. So that was the most important news, that I've got to give up chocolate. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna cope. So the second update is that the nurse talked about my transplant options. Now I'm gonna hold these up. So we went through the things that are in this booklet, the kidney transplant, things that are in this booklet, the PD with I can't even say it, peritoneal dialysis. This is the home dialysis, which is what I've opted for. The hemodialysis, which is the dialysis that you have to go into hospital for 3 times a week, and actually literally discussing and understanding what my options are. Okay, so she basically went through a checklist of things, and which was pretty vague, and yeses and nos, and how I felt about certain things. And it boiled down to the fact that I actually just do want, if I don't get a transplant in time and I've deteriorated to the point where I am going to need dialysis, then I have chosen to have home dialysis. And still, again, it was quite vague answer, and I'm saying you that now because I'm going to bring up something else shortly. So what was in the booklets is pretty much basic stuff. Okay, so the nurses are only going to be pretty vague and give you answers that not to scare you and to keep you calm, and that's fantastic, wonderful. However, I had a lot of unanswered questions still after that chat, and I had a couple of days to get my head around what she said, and I still didn't understand a lot of the information that she gave me. And surprisingly, over the weekend, I got a text message and a phone call from a friend of a friend who's actually recently received a transplant and is in recovery now. So I was overwhelmed with just the gesture of wanting to speak to me and put my mind at rest. So this person was very kind enough to get in touch with me and reach out and offer me the help answer the questions that were floating around in my head that the doctors and nurses don't really discuss and go into depth about. And I think that's because they don't want to scare you or overwhelm you. However, at the age of 47, I have a lot of life experience. I know what I want to know. I know what the questions are. And yeah, there might be in-depth questions. And I want to know what the scar looks like. I want to know how long it takes for real recovery on a real person, not what the doctor says, because every individual is different. I want to know how you feel emotionally. They don't tell you these things. They just ask you, how do you feel? Well, I don't know how I feel half the time. I know I'm shocked. I know I'll get down about it. I know I have this constant question in my head. Is somebody going to be able to help me? But then who's going to help all those other people that are out there? They don't know. They don't have people reaching out and asking the same questions. I'm not the only one in this boat. There are over 6,000 people waiting in the UK, waiting for an organ transplant. That's not just kidney, that's heart, liver, and kidney. It could even be pancreas as well. So when you realise and understand those stats, and understanding that 1/3 of those people actively waiting on that list is from a Black, Asian or ethnic minority community, then it puts things into perspective that yes, this is going to be a little bit rougher than I expected. But coming back to what I was going to say was the questions that I had for this lovely person, this lovely young man who got in touch with me via a friend, has put my mind at rest about understanding the actual procedure and the recovery time and how it looks, how it feels, and just those things, because I just wanted to know. And I have these quite kindly sent me pictures, and yeah, some people might not want to know about what it looks, what the scar's going to look like afterwards, how it's going to feel, how do they they get you up and about and stuff. All these questions I had, unanswered questions, were answered by another recipient. So, and he is now resting at home and recovering. So if you're watching this, thank you very much. That's for you and your missus for taking the time out to speak to me and putting my mind at rest. So that's where we're up to. So at the moment, I haven't heard anything other than I've had another hospital letter come through, and they've brought forward my appointment. So I have to go for bloods between now and the 6th of Jan before my next appointment, and so we can see what's going on. I am still doing a lot of posts, and I hope that if anyone has the time, if you could quite kindly keep reposting, keep sharing, keep bigging up the awareness that we need, because there just still isn't enough people knowing about it. I do know that the law has changed, Max and Kira's law, which came in May 2020. So, but still, it doesn't make it easy. There are still thousands of people waiting for an organ. So to be a donor is just the utmost amazing thing that anybody could do for another person. And the more we talk about it openly, the more we're going to be able to help one another while we still can. Because I don't see that you should get to a point where you're really very poorly. There will come a point where I'm very, 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 very sick, and I'm unable to do a lot of things myself. And I don't want to get to that point. I want to be able to kind of not skip it, but I don't want to hit rock bottom before I get help and raise awareness. No, because I don't want you guys to see me that ill. I want you to have faith and know that there's going to be somebody out there that's going to help me too. Because I know that whoever it is, you're out there and you will see this, and I hope, God willing, that if you're not a match for me, you will be a match for someone else, because that list is, you know, is waiting. There's so many people you can help. So yeah, that's where we're up to. So anyway, I hope all of that made sense and I haven't spoken too fast. Last few days, like I said, it's been hard trying to just digest this and trying to carry on with Christmas and get on with things. I've only just put my tree up, so it's been very, very hard. It's been an emotional roller coaster. I'm trying not to let it get to me, but I am still reaching out to people. Anybody who feels they can help, please, please, please get in touch with myself. DM me and let's have a conversation. And please, for everybody else, keep sharing my videos, keep sharing my posts. And I know that eventually we'll get to a point. It took us 20 years. Let's not wait 20 years. It took us 20 years to talk about breast cancer and raise the awareness of that, and how employers even deal with cancer patients. So let's not leave it another 20 years before people know how to deal with employees and, you know, family members that are going through this emotionally and physically, because it's not nice to watch, and it's difficult for another person to understand as well. So let's educate, let's get this awareness up, let's talk about it, let's get a conversation started, start talking about it, and get everybody, you know, clued up on how it happens, what happens, procedures. And I want everyone to know that you've got a choice, and you can make an informed decision whether you want to help or not, and how it works. You do have to be over 18 in the Max and Kira's law. You have to be over 18. You have to opt out should you wish not to donate at all. And it still has to be approved to a degree by your next kin. So if I'm wrong, pull me up on it by all means, but that's how I understand it when I looked into it. So anyway, I'm going to stop there now because I think I've prattled on quite a bit, and I hope all of you have a lovely Christmas, and I see you all in the new year. And let's all put this very challenging year, COVID-19 this year, and let's go into the new year thinking of positive things and positive vibes for everybody who is out there. I know that every single person has been affected by this year. There's not one person that hasn't felt how it is emotionally and physically, how it's affected them. So have a Merry Christmas and all the best for 2021, and let's kick 2020 in its back side and say see ya. Take care, bye.